Welcome to the Absolute Smack, episode 7. It's good to be back on the mic. It's good to be back on the mic, my guy.
The lucky number 7.
The so-called lucky number 7, according to Sfi. So I'm not sure what the sentiment, what theory he has around the number 7. It's some sort of theory that you have around this number.
I've always knew that number 7 was a significant number.
Yeah.
But I didn't really take the time to find out what it really means.
Yeah, I think we've all heard that thing about the number 7.
Yeah.
Some sort of significance.
Particularly number 7.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's 7 in what is in the Pope.
Yeah.
Uzola 7 priest 7, like it has some sense, some sort of spiritual meaning.
Yeah, man, like the number 7 is a prayer on its own.
Kuma casino, when you do those slot machines, you hit a jackpot by hitting 3 sevens.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So
Very
I took the time this time around.
Yeah, you want to share with us?
To actually find out the meaning of number 7.
Yeah.
And it says the number 7 is the seeker, the thinker, the searcher of truth with a capital T. The 7 doesn't take anything at face value.
Yeah.
It is always trying to understand the underlying hidden truths. The 7 knows that nothing is exactly as it seems, and that reality is often hidden behind illusions. It was nothing that I was expecting. It's such a very...
I said something about prayers. This sounds like a prayer indeed.
It's deep.
It's very, very deep. This
Deep.
It's deep.
Whatever it means, we don't know how that could correlate to
the actual lucky number 7.
Yeah, and to the 7th episode of the Absolute Smack.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll deal with that when we deal with that, my guy. Might just beginning on number 7 way too, and let's see what kind of luck this number 7 is bringing for us,
Yeah,
maybe
man.
we might hit a mark we haven't hit in terms of listenership. Who knows? You never know.
Welcome to the Absolute Smack. If you tuned in for the first time,
Yeah.
This is a bi-weekly podcast show that's hosted by Tabs and myself,
Yes, sir.
Mephisto.
Yes, sir.
And this is a show that's surrounded, centered around culture, rather. News, interesting topics,
True.
and things that we discuss amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
And sometimes, if we don't feel like being alone in the studio, we
We'll
put
go
a
through
guest.
a guest.
Yeah, man, and
Yeah.
this is the voice of culture with a strong focus on nativehood.
Yeah.
Ikasley Clem, and that's Davidson. And we always say this with pride and confidence.
I'm waiting for it.
We are the best thing to come out of Davidson since it was.
The touch horns, just to spice it up there, man. Yeah, we're very confident about that.
Yeah,
But
man.
welcome to the Absolute Smack lucky number 7.
We did the Absolute Smack buffet. Dropped that about a week ago, right? Yeah, and it's still available. If you haven't listened to that one, SoundCloud, the Absolute Smack.
Yeah.
Just search for our channel.
Yeah.
You'll find our previous episodes on there as well.
Yes, sir.
And connect with us on Facebook, like the page,
Yes, sir.
the Absolute Smack. Follow us on Twitter at Absolute Smack. We've also got footage videos that we shoot during our podcast recordings. When we do activations like the one we did at Shandy's.
Yeah.
You can also find that on YouTube. It's called the Absolute Smack TV. Connect with us, keep in touch.
Yeah, keep in touch there, man, and just listen to us and give us feedback on what you think about the topics that we're talking about, what you think about the show, and every other thing else, man. That's where to get hold of us.
Speaking about the previous episode 6,
Sure.
We did a lot of cool stuff there. We introduced 2 new household features.
We broke the virginity.
Yeah. We did a lot of cool stuff. It was a very sad episode. If you didn't listen to it, just to give you something to expect. Very sad episode. We touched on the death of we touched on depression, we touched on suicide, Avicii. It was a very sad episode.
Yeah.
But check it out. We introduced the quote of the week, and we also introduced the cool things that we discovered. And that's where we're gonna actually share the cool things that we discover on social media and things that are making the rounds. And Hotels, I know, has a quote of the week, and that will also give people the clue on what to expect.
That's the irony of this quote of the week for this week, my guy, is that it gives some sort of insight of what the topic is going to be about for the Absolute Smack episode 7.
Cool.
So the quote of the week, my guy, do you want to hear this?
I want to hear it. I'm waiting.
Yeah, man. It says, out of all the arts that the humankind has devised, music is the most direct and the closest one to our life pace. Allah subhanahu.
That's so accurate.
Do you want me to read it again?
That is so accurate.
It says, out of all the art that the humankind has devised, music is the most direct and the closest one to our life's pace.
Damn.
I think that's why it also has a relation to how each and every song has some sort of memory and a scene, a scenario of what happened when, wherever. You know? Yeah. So it's an art that actually grows with you, goes with your actual pace. So that's the quote of the week.
Also, just giving people a clue on what to expect. You know, there are two key things that I want people to take note of in that quote of the week.
What are those?
And that will lay the ground for the discussion of today. Pace and art. Yeah.
Okay. We'll get into more detail of that. About that, we'll get into more detail as we dissect the whole topic today.
So one of the cool things we discovered this week, I'm very excited about this, man.
Yeah, what's that?
Finally, my guy, we can fly literally, not figuratively, literally. And Uber is about to make that happen by the introduction of flying taxis. How cool is that?
That's futuristic thinking, my guy.
That is changing the game on another level.
That's setting the bar to another level.
You know, I've always wondered when I'm stuck in traffic,
if I could fly.
If I could fly,
just overcome this flipping traffic.
Skip this whole traffic and head straight to work. Finally, Uber is taking upon themselves to make that wish a reality. And shout out to Uber for that. So they're going to introduce the flying cabs.
Shout out to Uber.
They call it the air taxis, and it's something that looks like a drone, judging from the picture, of which people can find on our social media networks. So we'll post the link and share it on our media platforms.
Sure.
And it looks like a drone, but it's a bigger one. And by the look of things, and what's been said by the CEO, is that it can accommodate up to 4 passengers, and of course to make it comfortable as well. You know? And I'm sure they don't want to put too much pressure on this aircraft or this drone or this helicopter. I don't know what to call it at this stage.
So just to have people not get too excited, this is something that hasn't existed just yet. It's part of the futuristic plans for Uber on how to transport people from point A to point B. So initially these guys want to introduce this thing officially in 2028. So these guys are trying to introduce that at that time. So I think they're at a point where they trying to fix the logistics on how this thing is actually all gonna pan out.
I think it's going to be very, very complicated, because air transportation is something that's not very popular, and they want to go public with it. You know, and what's that gonna mean to what's gonna happen?
I think
we are gonna catch my cab
if they can get the groundwork right. Just the small nitty-gritty.
And that's what they're doing actually the next 2 years in Los Angeles. That's why we're testing this form of air transportation before the public launch in 2028.
So these guys are gonna have first-hand experience.
And I'm sure people, when they're listening to this or hearing us speak about this, are like, okay, but where is it gonna pick me up? From my house? Or from certain designated area?
That's part of the logistics that I was talking about.
Yeah, but apparently they're going to have they're going to build skyports. So this is where these helicopters or drones or whatever are going to land and take off and collect people and drop off people at certain designated area and certain points.
A taxi rank that went to private school.
It's a taxi rank that's very, very high up in the air.
True. That's what it is. That's what it is.
But when it needs to, the Uber will need to literally just figure a lot of things out, because I know what's the biggest concern about right now is safety. But yeah, how safe is this going to be?
How safe is this passing lepers?
Yeah, people have height fears or phobias.
I think it's cool because they're introducing it in LA in 2020 and they're gonna take it out officially in 2028.
Yeah.
So I think in the time frame,
they've got enough time.
It makes sense.
Yeah, to do the relevant testing.
To do the testing and actually test
because
around.
You know what? The issue of safety comes from the recent accident in Uber, where their self-driving cars got into a fatal crash with a pedestrian.
I don't know if I'd be comfortable looking at self-driving.
Exactly.
Like literally no one's driving.
Dude.
A software that's sitting somewhere that could be faulty, that was built by a person.
And you know what's so sad? They were preaching about the safety of these self-driving cars. And it knocked down the pedestrian, So now, mind you, we also want to question this introduction of these air transportations and how safe they'll be. But we'll see. 2028 is a long time. It's a long time to actually iron out all those concerns and make sure we're good, right?
Yeah, man.
So jumping straight onto it, Mfana, that's the cool things we discovered this week. We will share the link on social media. If people can just engage with us on social media to read more about this and actually see how this Uber Elevate flying taxi would look like.
Sure.
And back to regular programming.
Back to the order of the day.
Today we're going to
discuss the topic of discussion today.
Yes, a very interesting one. A very interesting one. So talking about these flying transportations, you can really get the sense of where the world is headed. We're becoming a digital world right now, and that is why they say we're in the fourth industrial revolution.
They say, but nothing is impossible, bro.
And digital and technology is disrupting every industry.
Sure.
And one of the industry that's not immune to that disruption is the music industry.
It's the music industry.
And it brings us back to what we're gonna talk about today, which is the effect. We call it the digital effect on the music industry. Interesting topic.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic. It's a very interesting topic considering where music comes from.
Yeah.
And the system of distribution music is from. It's changed drastically over the couple of years.
And I think the two main things that led that change was the digital and technology.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Because
the introduction of that.
Yeah, the introduction of that literally changed the nature of the music industry. From how music is sold to how music is consumed to how music is shared.
Yeah.
And this affects so many people in the process. Even though we're on the better receiving end as fans.
Does it affect them negatively or does it affect them positively?
It really depends on how you look at it.
Which side of the fence you at?
Yeah, it really depends on which side of the fence you at. Because, look, the digital has disrupted every industry, like we say. We just spoke about flying air transportation right now. It's going to disrupt the normal conventional transportation that we use these days. And if people like Uber cannot embrace the change that comes with the digital, their companies do not grow. And I think that's one thing that record labels have failed to do, is to embrace that change. That's why it's seen as such a negative thing. What this means basically is people have freedom of choice. People have freedom of options. People have more channels to consume music.
And more than anything, I think people have convenience.
Exactly.
I think convenience is the biggest seller for me.
We are the generation.
Because, I don't want to be the guy also call it taxi, head to Eastgate, go to music, buy an album, but with the interest of just one song. So digital streams allows me to actually listen to that one song. And then if I'm interested in the actual album, then I'll buy the album. But then for now, I just want this.
And based on what we were watching when we were just exploring this topic, was that we found out these record labels have been exploiting the market by selling one song, by pushing one song to sell a work of average music, a bodywork of average music. You know, just by pushing that one song.
That one song.
And when you're gonna buy into it thinking, Muti, that many albums has got better songs. And no, and we all know, Muti, there's that one album that you bought because of one song, and that's the only song you listen to on that goddamn
So
album.
that's the disadvantage of...
That's the disadvantage that we were faced with.
Yeah.
But now, with the introduction of digital, and people like Napster, they've changed that for us.
Yeah.
They have changed that for us in so many ways, and I'm forever grateful for that, because I've got the choice to literally buy or select or download one song, the only song that I like, than to feel forced to buy the whole album. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's the advantage of this new way of distributing music and how consumers.
From our perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the fans' perspective.
Oh, yeah, of course.
From the business perspective, it's a totally different story.
Yeah, you think so?
It is.
How so? Like,
if we share music at no expense, at no cost, and we consume and download music at no expense, at no cost, no one's making money from that.
Yeah. No one's making any real money.
Yeah, anyway. And these businesses are very dependent on selling the music. You know, hence the introduction of 360 deals that they offer artists, and they say, okay, we're not gonna take a chunk from the music sales alone.
Yeah.
But if you go on tour or get booked or get a deal, you're also gonna get a cut. Yeah. Literally from every activity that you do, and that's them trying to make up for their loss that they make it. They're experiencing in music sales.
On music sales.
You know what I mean?
So you're saying the music sales has been dropping.
Yeah,
significantly.
That's general knowledge. Yeah, that's general knowledge. Really, people see. That's why music stores are being closed nowadays.
So artists today are making money through eventing, through sponsorship.
You know what? Before we get there, let's just talk about how the record labels, because I'm gonna show you how we're gonna tie it back into that.
Yeah.
The introduction of the 360 deals. So what record labels have seen is that if we can't make money from the music, we need to make money from other activities that the artist does, you know. And they've actually discovered, or rather observed, you would see, the only way really that these artists make money is not from the music. It's from tours, it's from shows, performances, getting booked and gigs and all of this shit, you know. And that's why the business model is changing and heading towards that direction.
Now.
We'll see, you know what, we're not making money anyway because people are downloading music, people are doing this online piracy thing that's uncontrollable, that's unregulated, and it's really out of our control. So let's rather make money off artists from their performances, you know. And it's really enslaving the artist more than it's benefiting them, you know.
Yeah, I get you. But you know what I like about record labels, and another big factor that they played that maybe we're not talking about here, people that people don't talk about, is how record labels were assisting in the marketing of
distribution.
artists, you know.
Yeah.
So the distribution is one thing.
Yeah.
But how do you push your artistry if you don't have a distribution? Okay, if you do have a distribution platform, but you don't have a way to make people aware of who you are, or just having the right number of people know about you. It becomes a bit of a drag when you're independent and focus, because I think I know for a fact that these streaming services do not they don't cater for the marketing space. They just give you the platform to push your own stuff.
It's like I said earlier, it was good to see how do you embrace the change that comes with digital, you know. And if artists or musicians can embrace online platforms such as social media, you know, and platforms such as YouTube, you know, to tap into the big reach within those platforms and sort of like find a way to carve their own audience, you know, because I really think it's possible. Yes, you might need to spend a few bucks on actually promoting the content online, given the clutter and all the You know, links flying left, right, and center.
There's a lot of things happening online.
Yeah. With a couple of bucks, you can still reach the right people. You know, you can still get a decent number. You know, so I really think that digital also presents opportunities for artists to reach a broader audience that they wouldn't have reached with a record label. You know what I mean? Because there's people that blew up on YouTube before they were signed.
Yeah.
You know, so that tells you something about how these platforms are creating opportunities for artists to sort of like break through. You know, you don't need a deal these days to be famous or to be big or to have a big song. You know, you can still release it on YouTube, and if it goes viral, you know, record labels will start knocking on your door. You know? So I think there are opportunities within the digital space, but however, the disadvantage, of course, is the clutter.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage. There's a lot of clutter. There's a lot of things going on online. So how do you stand out as an individual that's trying to tell me that you released a song and it's good enough for me to download it? It's a lot of work to go through.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to go through. But if we can also just have a discussion about the business of this music industry and this digital age. You know? And we've picked up Uguti, artists don't really make much from streaming.
No, I think unless you like a huge artist that like is able to draw millions and thousands of streaming numbers, you know. But other than that, I don't think there's real money there.
You know, I was watching this documentary where they was asking this guy, what does it take to make money from streams? You know, because it's a popular way of consuming music these days. And this guy said, it doesn't take much. You just need to be a Drake. I was like, wow. So
this is him talking about how big you actually need to be
to make money from streams.
For you to be considered to even making money on those platforms. That's tricky, man. Not everyone's gonna be a Drake, eh?
Because one thing, YouTube, speaking of that, actually we should also include this in the cool things we've discovered, is that they're going to launch a streaming service now called YouTube Music. So it's going to be a separate app solely dedicated for music streaming. And then that's them trying to address this complaint or this uproar from musicians and artists that upload their music on their platform. But what do YouTube like about YouTube? You know, it really takes, I don't know what, to make a decent amount of cash on YouTube. You know, and it's a tiny, super tiny cash that you make from like 1 million streams. And this is true. And the YouTube was saying, okay, sharp, let's do this. Let's rather have people pay for online subscriptions. And then from that subscription, we are able then to pay you guys a decent amount of money than the one you get from YouTube, you know. And that's the introduction of YouTube Music, you know. And that's basically how that's where the world is going, and that's where the business is headed right now. They're only gonna eat money from streams, and platforms are gonna try and squeeze in ads to also eat money from that activity, you know.
Yeah, the business system is really changing. It's really changing.
It is changing. But it for me, what this does is it's giving the artist the power, really. You know, the power to connect with the audience. Number one, the power to learn what the audience likes
at his own pace.
You know,
at his own discretion.
You know the privilege of accessing that information to say, okay, this song, wow, is more received than this song, you know, and of which previously it was a disadvantage. You know, you couldn't really tell what people are really into. But now with these platforms, we now have a variety of data that you can use to actually predict what kind of song your people would expect from you. People or you know would like to look
what the next big song is, or who the next big artist is.
I think
the data that you receive from those platforms.
Straight. And I think that's the way the business is headed. And I think that's how the digital effect is changing the music industry.
Sure. The digital effect on the music industry. 2018. Bro. The Absolute Smack episode 7, just to remind you guys.
So besides that, according to this article that I read on techspot.com, it revealed something contrary. It reveals something contrary to what we're discussing right now. And I don't know where they got these stats, né?
Yeah.
But it's something very interesting.
So what are the stats there?
In 2017, this is last year.
Yeah.
The article was published this year. It says that physical music sales surpassed digital music downloads revenue by a good $200 million margin.
And this is global.
Yeah, this is. I'm not really sure about the scale, but it's just an interesting, insight. But we thought digital was leading the pack in terms of music revenue, but now it turns out people are actually going back to the stores, man.
Like it's so weird. Like you talk about that article, but there's a lot of other articles that you bump into online that will tell you, that are contradicted to this particular one.
This one thing they also mentioned is that with human beings still like the thought of a feel and touch type thing.
Yeah.
Tangible something. I think they've got a more personal sentiment to that.
I think another thing that you need to put into consideration is that as much as there's these new digital streams, but there's also a reasonable market that's out there that still believes in traditional.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, but for them to push the mark to surpass digital music download revenue,
that's another story.
That's another story.
That's another story. That's very dodgy.
And according to this article, this dodgy article, it's techspot.com. I will share it online just for reference. And people just so that people don't think that we're making this up. The digital download revenue also dropped by 25% to 1.3 billion during 2017. So I don't think 2017 was a good year for digital download revenues, according to this article. According to this article. That's it, man. I don't know. We discovered a lot of things about the change in the digital music industry.
Yeah, because I'm actually looking at this other one here that says digital revenues now account for more than half, 54% of the global recorded music market.
Wow.
You see, this is
two different sources.
Contradictory to the one you just read there.
But this does not sound right.
Yeah, something doesn't sound right.
It does not sound right. Yeah. It doesn't sound right.
So this topic was just an eye-opener, Joe, on the details and the functionality of the system in regards to digital music.
I think more than anything,
of it.
This episode was for the musician, number one. Think about the direction you want to take with the music. Think about the other revenues you can explore other than music sales. Number two was for the average fans, the average Joe. The person that consumes the music. How does your consumption of music affect your favorite artist? And how generally it's gonna change the whole landscape, and it's very good to stay informed when these changes are happening.
Yeah, man, stay woke with all the changes that are happening out there, so you can be relevant and just know where to push your marketing towards.
Yeah. And I'm sure we will be more than happy to discuss this more further.
And to more detail.
If people wanna find out stats or that articles that we were just reading out right now, on Facebook we are the Absolute Smack, Twitter at Absolute Smack, YouTube, just search for the Absolute Smack TV, SoundCloud, the channel is the Absolute Smack. We will share everything, and we're more than welcome to have discussions with musicians, aspiring musicians, DJs, performers, songwriters, more about this topic, because I really feel they need to know what's going on.
Episode number 7 is locked right now.
Episode number 7 done and dusted. Shutting
down, seeing you. Just keep on sharing with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to share.
Straight up.
Yeah, spread the word. The best thing a David taught after he got. It's good.